So, the composition of body fluids, total body water. Water is the most plentiful constituent of the human body. Total water body as a percentage of body weight varies with age. The fetus has a very high total body water, which gradually decreases to about 75% of birth weight for a term infant. Premature infants have a higher total body water content than term infants. During the first year of life, total body water decreases to about 60% of the body weight and basically remains at this level until puberty. And by the end of puberty, total body water in boys remain at about 60%, but total body water in girls decreases to about 50% of the body weight due to differences in body fat content. The high fat content in overweight children leads to decrease in total body water as a percentage of body weight. During dehydration, the total body water decreases and thus is a smaller percentage of body weight. Okay, you can see the slides, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just have a look at this slide once. నేర్చుకుంటారా నువ్వు కూడా అట్లానే ఇక్కడ ఖాళీగా ఉన్నావు కదా and this is total body weight according to the age. Just have a look at it like that. Here is birth in months and here it is in years, and this is percentage of body weight. So total body water, ICF, intracellular fluid and extracellular fluid. So this is total body weight according to the age. Male and female, you can see this. And this is electrolyte composition. Have a look at this slide once. And by the way, who is this here? Hello, CR. There's no class representative? Yes or no? Can you hear me? ఎందుకు శరత్ కాల్ చేస్తున్నారు కాల్ హలో
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can hear me.
CR.
Pardon?
Sai Malik is PR, sir.
Is not there now?
We'll just check, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just when I ask you whether you can hear me or not, just say yes or no immediately, okay?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir, will do.
Okay, have a look at this slide once, electrolytes composition. I'll just give you 2 minutes time.
Yes, sir.
So fluid therapy is used to correct the total body water and electrolyte disturbances to restore and maintain blood volume, osmolality, pH, and electrolyte composition, and to restore normal physiological functions. So in what all conditions you will be having fluid therapy? So first is infants less than 30 weeks, infants less than 1250 grams, Sick term newborns like severe birth asphyxia, apnea, respiratory distress syndrome, sepsis, seizures, and cystic fibrosis. These all are in newborns. And other causes in general in pediatric age groups is acute GE, gastroenteritis, fever, deprivation, diabetes insipidus, DKA, burns, coma, diuretics, and intestinal drainage. So, for example, in what all cases generally you require fluid therapy in pediatrics is newborns is this one, the left side, and the pediatric is the other causes I already told you. Just have a look at the slide and see here. What are the signs of dehydration? Sai Malik, right? CR. Hello. Anyone? Not only the CR, anyone?
The CR is having net issues. He's trying to log in, but there's some internet issues at his place.
Okay. What are the signs of dehydration in pediatrics? What are the types of dehydration? I already told you long back. Types of dehydration and signs of dehydration. Anyone can answer.
Dry mouth, sir.
Okay.
No, so wait.
Few tears while crying.
Okay.
Less urination.
A bit louder, please.
Decreased frequency of urination, sir.
Also,
Okay.
dark color of urination.
Okay.
General malaise.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then what are the types of dehydration?
Based on severity, it will be mild, moderate, or severe. Based on different electrolyte loss, I think it's hyponatremic. Hypernatremic and isonatremic.
Okay, fine. Good. Anyways, you remember at least you answered it. Okay, we'll go for next slide. I'll tell you in the next one. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So here you can see. బయట కూర్చో వస్తారు బయట కూర్చో 5 నిమిషాలు వస్తారు పక్కన వెళ్ళారు ఇక్కడే ఆ తలుపు దగ్గరికి వేసి So IV fluid therapy indications are diarrhea, severe dehydration, more than 10% of body water loss in infants. Diarrhea is accompanied by severe uncontrolled vomitings, inability to comply with oral fluids. So the basic thing is in diarrhea, he is not able to take it orally. Along with loose stools, even vomitings, which he is not able to take orally, then you will go for IV fluid therapy. Other indications are hemorrhage, shock, electrolyte disturbances, supplying fluids and food for patients who are unable to maintain oral intake. In a collapsed patient, IV fluids are given initially rapidly at a rate of 100 ml per minute to avoid hypovolemia and irreversible shock. Later on, the fluid therapy is adjusted according to the loss in stools and sweat, clinically by noting the neck veins and urine output, and also blood pressure monitoring also it should be done. So these are basic indications: diarrhea, hemorrhage, shock, electrolyte disturbances. So what are the type of IV fluid? Plasma expanders, crystalloids, and colloids. So crystalloids and colloids. What are all the crystalloids? Normal saline 0.9% RL, ringer lactate, and 5% dextrose are crystalloids. Colloids are human albumin, gelatin solution, dextran, and hydroxyl starches. So principles of fluid therapy. First is you should correct the deficit therapy, and then the IV fluid maintenance therapy. First, whenever you should have you should correct the deficit therapy, and then finally the maintenance therapy. Sister, definitely తీసారా రక్తం సిస్టర్ చేస్తారు తలుపు దగ్గరికి రా తలుపురా తలుపేసే క్లాస్ జరుగుతుంది. So deficit therapy and maintenance therapy. So main goals of maintenance fluid is prevent dehydration, electrolyte disturbances, ketoacidosis like DKA, diabetic ketoacidosis, and prevent protein degradation. Infants are more susceptible for water loss due to physiological inability of their renal tubules to concentrate, higher metabolic rate, large body surface area, poorly developed thirst mechanism, larger turnover over water exchange. So main goals I already told you. Just have a look at this slide once. This is very important. అక్కడే చూస్తుందా? So maintenance fluid. This is how you calculate in pediatrics, which is very important. Have a look at this slide once. Body weight and fluid per day. 0 to 10 kgs, 100 ml per kg. 11 to 20 kgs, 1000 ml plus 50 ml per kg for each kg more than 10 kgs. And then more than 20 kgs, 1500 ml plus 20 ml per kg for each kg more than 10 kgs. Have a look at this. Very important. When you come to internship, this is how you should maintenance fluid for pediatric. Adults, so you can just put it off. Pediatric, you should calculate according to this formula. Have a look at this once. So the maximum total fluid per day is whatever it is. The maximum total fluid per day normally is 2400 ml. Fluid of choice. The main thing for maintenance fluid, you should go for half DNS. So the maximum fluid rate is normally 100 ml per hour, 0 to 10 kgs. Roughly, I'm telling this 4 ml per kg per hour, 10 to 20 kgs, 40 ml per hour plus 2 ml per kg per hour. More than 20 kgs, 60 ml per hour plus 1 ml per kg per hour. Have a look at this slide once. This is very, very, very important in pediatrics. I'll just give you 2 minutes time. Have a look at this slide. So this is next is electrolytes maintenance. Sodium, potassium and chloride are given in maintenance fluid to replace losses from urine and stool. Maintenance requirements for sodium and potassium. Sodium is 2 to 3 milliequivalents per kg per 24 hours. Potassium is 1 to 2 milliequivalents per kg per 24 hours. Adequate chloride is provided as long as at least half of the sodium and potassium are given as chloride salts. So this is electrolyte maintenance. Sodium is 2 to 3 milliequivalents per kg per 24 hours. Potassium is 1 to 2 milliequivalents per kg per 24 hours. So as long as you are giving sodium and potassium, chloride is also corrected. Can you see the slide and hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Then glucose. Maintenance fluid usually contains 5% dextrose. That is half DNS. I already told you 5% dextrose, which provides 17 calories per 100 ml and close to 20% of the daily caloric needs. This is enough to prevent ketone production and helps minimize protein degradation. It is a diet and a child will lose weight on this regimen. So basically half DNS, which contains 5% dextrose, which provides 17 calories per 100 ml. So maintenance fluid is the fluid of choice is half DNS. So this is just a general condition when the patient comes in hypotensive shock. Start isotonic crystalloid or colloid. If there is an improvement, yes, IV crystalloid or colloid 10 ml per kg for 1 hour. If still there is an improvement, reduce for 1 to 2 hours 5 to 7, 3 to 5 and 2 to 3 ml per kg per hour. And after 48 hours, you can completely stop. So you should start for 10 ml per kg per hour for 1 hour, then reduce it to 5, 3 and 2. Generally remember this 5, 3 and 2 or 7, 5 and 3. If there is no improvement, check hematocrit, and then if it is high IV crystalloid or colloid, second bolus you should give 10 ml per kg per hour for 30 to 60 minutes. If there is improvement, reduce IV crystalloids 10 ml per kg per hour for 1 to 7 to 10 for 1 to 2 hours. If there is no improvement, severe overbleed, yes, urgent blood transfusion. If there is no bleed, colloid you should go for 10 to 20 ml per kg per hour. So have a look at this slide. When the patient comes in isotonic, when the patient comes in hypotensive shock, this is how you should follow the protocol. Just have a look at this for 2 minutes. Oi, oi. వాటి మీరు ఎక్కడ పట్టుకుంటారు సిస్టర్ అంటే వన్ పట్టుకోరా వన్ పట్టుకో గట్టిగా సిస్టర్ ఆ ప్రోబ్ తీసుకోవాలా ఆడ పెట్టిన చదువుతావు So, if the patient comes in with dengue fever with warning signs like loss of consciousness, low BP, and all, you should go according to this. The choice of IV fluid is normal saline or RL. So, you should go for 5 to 7 ml per kg per hour for 1 to 2 hours and 3 to 5 ml per kg for 2 to 4 hours. Stable and no change or minimal change in HCT, then continue the same IV fluid 2 to 3 ml per kg for 2 to 4 hours. If there is worsening, then for isotonic you should go for isotonic crystalloids 5 to 10 ml per kg per hour for 1 to 2 hours. Then recheck the hematocrit. If the patient improving 5 to 10, same I told you 3 to 5 and 2 to 3 you should reduce, and after 48 hours you can stop. The basic thing is in IV fluid for dengue fever with warning signs, the IV fluid choice is RL or normal saline. This slide once. Even sister. Okay, next slide. So this is management of dehydration. If there is no dehydration, if the child is in dehydration or child is in shock. If there is no dehydration, continue breastfeeding and usual milk feeds, encourage fluid intake, discourage fizzy drinks and fruit juices. If at an increased risk of dehydration, then consider observation and offer 5 ml per kg of ORS as supplementary fluids. If there is dehydration, then ORS 50 ml per kg over 40 hours plus maintenance requirements. And not tolerating oral fluids, then you should go for maintenance and correction. If the patient comes in shock, 20 ml per kg bolus of normal saline. Remember, any case in pediatrics, if the child comes in shock, 20 ml per kg of normal saline. Okay, point of normal saline you should give for the child. Okay, just have a look at this slide once. So the basic approach to dehydration should be initial resuscitation. I already told you, if the patient comes in shock, 20 ml per kg of normal saline as a bolus, and determine the degree of dehydration, means type of dehydration, and determine the type and rate of rehydration fluids. What is the choice of IV fluids you should go for? So I already told you, normal saline 20 ml per kg over 20 minutes. Then 24 hours, I already told you how to calculate the maintenance water and also calculate the deficit water. And I already told you how to calculate the electrolyte needs and select the appropriate IV fluid depending upon the type of dehydration. So I already told you how to calculate the maintenance, how to calculate the electrolyte imbalance. So have a look at this one. So the basic thing is 20 ml per kg over 20 minutes is the bolus you should be giving. So this is how, see. So assessment of dehydration. First, look at the condition of the child. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is how you should assess the dehydration in patients with diarrhea, especially in diarrhea. Look at the condition. Well alert, restless or irritable, lethargic or unconsciousness or floppy. Okay, remember this well. Then eyes, whether they are normal, sunken or very sunken and dry. And tears, whether they are present, whether they are absent or they are absent. Mouth and tongue, is it moist, dry and very dry. And thirst, drinks normally, not thirsty. Thirsty, drinks eagerly, drinks poorly or is not able to drink. Okay, this is how you should calculate. Means the first thing I told you, well alert, restless, irritable, all three types I told you. You can put it as no dehydration, some dehydration and severe dehydration. If the child is in no dehydration, the condition will be well alert, normal, present, tears will be present, mouth and tongue moist, thirst will be drinks normally, no thirsty. But if it is in some type of dehydration, restless, irritable, sunken eyes, absent tears, dry mouth, thirst is very thirsty, drinks eagerly, and if it is severe dehydration, lethargic or unconsciousness, floppy, very sunken and dry, absent, very dry, drinks poorly or is not able to drink. And then feel the skin pinch. If in no dehydration, goes back quickly. If some dehydration, goes back slowly. Severe dehydration goes back very slowly. So among all this, if the patient has 2 or more signs, there is some dehydration. If the patient has 2 or more signs, there is severe dehydration. So this is how you should assess the child, whether the child is no dehydration, some dehydration, and severe dehydration. And along with this, blood pressure also, and respiratory rate also, and CFT also you should calculate. CFT prolonged more than 2 seconds, low BP, and respiratory rate is deep and rapid. This also you should assess. So have a look at this. This is how sunken fontanelle, reduced level of consciousness, dry mucous membrane, reduced skin turgor, tachypnea, oliguria, sudden weight loss, tachycardia, hypotension, and eyes are sunken and tearless, and reduced CFT. So have a look at this once for 2 minutes. Okay, these are the types of dehydration and what are the signs of dehydration. No, some, and severe. And this is how you'll go for skin turgor and all you should see. So I will just stop the class with this isonatric and hyponatric dehydration and all. I'll continue in the next class. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, next class also I'll continue with the fluid therapy and pediatrics and we'll complete this topic by next Tuesday. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, sir.